But going into the final two turns, lunge the car in deep, turn in early, and again, keep control of your throttle across the line. Sab, what's it going to be? It's a 40.9. It's fantastic. RANSDAAL, though, he's getting a bit of slipstream, maybe by accident, but he's up on his lap by a tenth there, going into the last two turns. RANSDAAL, what can he produce? Into the right-hander, switching it way back over to the left-hand side. RANSDAAL coming across the line. It's going to be a 40.9243 milliseconds off the top spot. 20 milliseconds up for Jippy. Can he put himself up into the top spot here? Can he go ahead of his championship rival in AMS RANSDAAL? Here comes the Aston Martin. He lightly taps it into the left, going into the bus stop chicane. The Aston Martin will absolutely lunge it in once more for the final time in this qualifying session. He needs to put everything inside of it. Can he do it across the line? Jippy, no, 41.244. He's actually been out-qualified by XPG Callum, who surges through for a P3. It is 5 red lights. And it is green light, go, go, go. We go racing here in the Grand Prix in Spa. Going down towards turn 1. It's a good getaway there from Sab. Going into the first turn, the Aston Martin looking to peek through towards the Ferrari and the kick-sal. But no, there's spins. There's moments there going into that first turn. The Alpine's off. That's to Saban. I think Studdy also made a big mistake. He is sideways. Going on the exit, he is stuck on the curb. That is a big moment as Avi Tyrell's overtaking Tharla there, going up Eau Rouge and Radion. Going down the Camel Straight here. The McLaren ahead of the kick-sal, but just look behind. It's Twizier. Can he get his moment? Is the rundown going into Lecom good enough here for AMS RANSDAAL or XPG Callum? The answer is no. Going into left-hander. Going down the straight. Can he get a good enough run for a move into turn 1 here? There's a big moment here for Raven West off it, I believe. It's 3 wide, 2 wide by the respective teams going on to the exit of that turn. What happened to Raven West, though? He's on the way down into positions here. Follow 4. Overtaking Avi Tyrell as he slides through into that first turn, drifting to try and keep his position. Avi Tyrell putting on the speed onto the exit. Does he keep that position? Yes, he does. Thaler, though, still sticking his nose up the inside, but he can't do anything about it here. AMS RANSDAAL getting the run here on the on the Red Bull, going down the Camel Straight, now into Lecom, down the inside. He's well ahead going into the turn, and he keeps at the position there of P1, which could all chop and change in the upcoming lap time for just one big moment. Down the inside, Jippy's looking to go here of XPG Callum, the man P2 in the standings, battling out for the championship. Onto the exit, he puts the throttle down. They're still side by side going onto the exit. XPG Callum is going to have the outside lane going into Eau Rouge and Radion. And Jippy realises that and realises it is not worth it to go for the overtake. It will be worth it to go for the overtake here, though, for Sab. He's got a little bit of a run on RANSDAAL going into Lecom here. Down the inside, he's looking to go here into Lecom on the Ferrari. The Ferrari, though, holds his nerve and is able to keep his position. Looking for their moment here as the Mercedes could be looking for it. Down the inside goes Milionsky here on the man in P2 with the championship. He also went down the inside on Callum, and Callum could be losing 2 for 1 as Jippy will move past Callum. A very rough 3 wide going into that first turn, and Jippy lets Callum go through. As it's side by side between Deck and Jack going up Eau Rouge and into Radion. They're both side by side going onto the exit. Down the Camel Straight. They're still going at it. Still side by side. Still looking for it. Sab up the inside of RANSDAAL going into that first turn in Lecom. Now round the outside of Lecom. The Ferrari has to obey the pace of Sab as he pushes the past. There's a yellow flag here in Sector 2. I think that's Jordan. It is. Cash App not having a great race tonight. P17 and P10's not too bad for Martin McFly, but with that 3-second time penalty, it's always going to be more difficult to try and keep your nerve. As round the outside goes Jippy here of Callum. Down the inside he goes. He's looking for it in the bus stop chicane. DRS being used. ERS being used to try and push past, and he does. Callum, can he still look for it down the inside into turn 1? No, he fakes it. Race here so far. Can he keep it? Or more importantly, can Sab keep P1? Round the outside goes AMS RANSDAAL going into Lecom, and now up the inside into the second turn, and he does get it. Battery, ERS, is important, but not as important as DRS, as into the pit Sab goes. Well, I just said it. Strategy can become a factor here. And it is very early on, it seems. I think AMS RANSDAAL has to box this lap to try and cover off the undercut. Coming around this last turn, I think the undercut's been very big here. You can take a look. It's going to be neck and neck coming up the pit lane here for AMS RANSDAAL. Is he going to be side by side going into turn 1? I think the Red Bull's pass. Yes, he is. No, he isn't. What's it going to be? The Ferrari, I think, is ahead. Is he ahead? Sab coming through. He does go ahead, but just by a little margin. Not as big of a margin as as Sab would have hoped. And now RANSDAAL, can he look to get past here? DRS being used down the Kemmel straight here. This is practically the battle for P1. I think it's going to be a quick and easy move for AMS RANSDAAL, and it is. The Red Bull, the undercut did not work. Milionski getting a little bit of a run here on AMS RANSDAAL as he didn't overtake Sab. I'm so sorry, I did not look at that. But Milionski has overtaken Sab, and he's taken P8, a provisional P2, considering that other drivers are, of course, going to box sooner rather than later. But a 10th gap here. 1 second between Sab and Milionski. Sab is lucky that he's got the DRS going down the straight here, as Driver Jimmy's going to look for the move, but Milionski's also going to look for the move. RANSDAAL protects the inside, but ran the outside. Milionski will go, and he's got it. Fantastic drive so far for Milionski. He is currently P1 in this Grand Prix, as effectively as he would have hoped. Milionski, though, that's big. 3-second time penalty. Here we go, though. Sab, I don't think it's without any DRS, and was very slow up Rouge and Radion, and it's the big moment. Finally, an overtake for Jumbo Jippy. Down the inside he goes. DRS being used. It's a simple overtake, and one that he's been desperately calling out for. But now, he needs to put on the pace and get himself within that 1 second gap. And ERS being used. Sorry, no, just ERS, not DRS. There's no DRS on this straight, but ERS being used indefinitely round the outside of the Haas car, going into the bus stop chicane. He's going to have DRS on Brian Evans in front. And can he complete the move cleanly on the Haas? Yes, he can. Run off the exit here. Martin McFly overtaking this hard runner as well. Side by side here between Tharlo and Brian Evans. Going down the straight. And XPG Callum, he's had a moment with the Haas car. Somehow he's kept his car on track. That's a big slide. And somehow between him and Power Twan, there was no fatal connection. Is there going to be a moment here between Deck and Sab and Power Twan? Power Twan with a great run off of Radion. He's got the DRS. He's going for a 2 for 1. It's 3 wide down the Kemmel straight and going into Lecor. It's side by side between the McLaren and the Haas car. The Haas car just locks up a little bit round the outside of Deck's looking to go here of the Haas, and he's lost time to Sab. And now XPG Callum and Tharlo coming into this equation here. Sab losing time. Side by side between Tharlo and Deck. Tharlo up the inside. Can he get the move done on the McLaren here of Deck? Yes, he can. The mediums is proving well here. Callum's in a wall. Callum is in a wall. Deck hits the Sauber into the wall. And now he's dropping down into P12. Deck's surely going to get reported for that after the Grand Prix. Going to go down the straight here on Power Twan. It should be an easy move, but that little moment on the exit. As Tharlo is coming through. Round the outside he's going off Sab. Down the inside the Red Bull looking to protect. Can he keep it? I don't think he can. Tharlo 4 coming through for P5. And now eyes up Power Twan here. The hard to medium strat is working out perfectly for the Kick Sauber. But Sab's not coming out without a fight here. DRS is going to be used as well as his extra ERS. Can he go side by side? Yes, he can. He's going to go side by side with Tharlo, who's going to look for the outside line. It's 3 wide going into Lecom. Round the outside. The Sauber's looking to go on the mediums, and he cleans out the Haas car, and he's up into P4. But a 2.8 second gap could be big enough to certify the top 3 between Jaipo Jippy, RANSDAAL and Milionski. But here we go though, the move that could be vital for the championship round the outside. Jaipo Jippy's going of RANSDAAL, his championship rival. Now down the inside, they're still side by side. Going onto the right-hander here around the outside once more from Jaipo Jippy. There's a bit of contact going onto the exit. These two still going for it, still lunging for it. Round the outside, the Aston Martin looking for it again. The Ferrari still defending it down the inside. And now down the inside again for the Aston Martin. He goes a bit too slow though. And all of a sudden, RANSDAAL is without DRS to Milionski. That is huge. It becomes much more easier for Jaipo Jippy to look for a move once more. Going down the Kemmel straight. Raven West getting an overtake here on Deck around the outside. Now down the inside into Lecom. Now around the outside again, he does get it. It's all or nothing. They're both using ERS. Tharlo 7 tenths behind. I don't think he's close enough to go for a move here. Still using ERS. Jopo Jippy. Will he lunge it? No, he doesn't. AMS RANSDAAL does a little bit of a lock-up. Left-hander here. I think AMS RANSDAAL has sealed it. Across the line he will come. And he has won it. For Ferrari. For himself. A very tight, teeth-clenching final moments. But it does mean AMS RANSDAAL expands that gap in that top spot in the standings